Hello. In this video I'm going to try and show you how I hot smoke salmon with a Weber barbecue. Before we start I should point out that this is the first video I've done for YouTube. It will be fairly unprofessional. Here's the salmon that I've recently bought, fresh salmon. Some uncooked whole side, and the first thing I'm going to do is put it on some silver foil. In the middle, and you need the foil to be slightly bigger than the salmon. At this stage I'm actually now going to go and get the Weber going so that while I prepare the rest of the salmon the coals are heating up. Okay, using the Weber chimney I'm going to heat up coals, and this is an exceptionally good use for the Kahuta with those tines. That under there, and then I'm actually using briquettes, which is not probably as traditional as it should be. The other type start a lot quicker than traditional charcoal, but this runs a bit hotter and a bit longer. I use about 15 of these. Okay, so having lit that, ever optimistic, I'm going to leave that and go and prepare the salmon. So, with a pair of forceps, or just a pair of needle nose pliers or anything, I'm going to remove the pin bones which you see going along here. And they go probably to about there or so. So, for demonstration purposes, I'll pull out one here. They can be a little bit tricky to get out, but you basically are going to work along from the end, pulling out the pin bones. And it'll take probably about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, it's actually only about 2 or 3 minutes, not 5 to 10, but you'll see this is my little pile of bones that I've removed over here, and if you run your finger up along the bone line you can feel that there's no more bones. Okay, having got rid of the bones into the bin, I just dry off the salmon slightly. And then just spread a little bit of olive oil over the top of it. Just putting it on rather with a little brush. Having done that, get out the old lemon and pepper seasoning salt and liberally coat the salmon. And I confess a recent addition that I now do is I like just a little bit of chili powder on it too, which just spices up a bit of the top part of the salmon. So I just put a little bit of chili powder on there. Or the other thing I've used is you can get some Cajun spice. And there we are, ready to go. Next thing I do is I bring in the Weber grill plate or mesh or whatever it's called, and I put the salmon on such that it's in the middle with the two flaps on either side. At this stage I have a probe that will keep track of the temperature, the internal temperature. So at this stage I put in the probe into what I think is about halfway through the salmon, and set a temperature, cook temperature of 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Actually, I don't know why I said 130 degrees, that's what I set for beef. I actually set it for 140 degrees Fahrenheit for the salmon, and 140 degrees is 60 degrees centigrade Celsius. So you set that so that it's ready to go. Okay, let's see how the coals are doing, and they're looking pretty good. So at this stage I'm going to pour the coals in to the Weber. I've in fact used really a bit more coals than I need to. This will do about 4 or 5 hours cooking probably. And having put those in, I add the smoky flavour, which for me is New Zealand Manuka. And I add about 3 bits, which I'm not intending to light, but hopefully they will smoke. Having put those in, I'll now bring out the salmon and put the salmon on such that the cable for my temperature probe is not over the flames. With that, you see these things are starting to smoke already. With that, the lid goes back on, and what I do is I have the top half closed and the air vent at the bottom half closed. That's it. We now just wait. Okay, it's smoking nicely now. I normally let the temperature get up to sort of 300, 350 tops, and then if it's getting hotter I'll just throttle back the air intake on the bottom. The wood will be smouldering, it doesn't tend to burst into flames if you've got that one half closed. So that's just going nicely at the moment. Okay, temperature's up to 350, so I've just slightly closed the bottom air intake, and as you can see we're smoking! And been going now for, let's see, we've been going now for about 10 minutes. Internal temperature has come up from what I suppose was about 70 to 83, and it's looking good. The internal temperature of the Weber is not too important. Obviously the higher temperature the cooker it'll cook, and like vice versa, but as long as you've got it probably above 250 or so, that's going to be just fine. Okay, 25 minutes into the cook, and the temperature is still going up because I've had put so much coals in. It's actually now got up to about 375, 380. Still quite a lot of smoke coming out, so I've actually closed off the bottom air intake completely. And the temperature, we're aiming for 140 and we're up to 124. So after 25 minutes we're on 124. Okay, 50 minutes, how long have we had? We've had 19, about 30 minutes. All hell breaks loose as we reach 140 degrees. There she blows. Okay, and I now take that out. There's a little bit of olive oil and stuff are still around, so you can just be careful when you transport it. You can see that I've actually just really made some more charcoal with the fire in there. That'll go for another 4 or 5 hours, so it's a bit of a waste only doing one. The problem though is that once you start smoking in a Weber, I find it a bit difficult to get rid of the residual flavour of the smoke, so you've got to be careful what else you cook. What you can do though is if you then close off top and bottom, quite often the charcoal will go out, and you can use it again, or some of it again. So there we go, 30 minutes, smoked to perfection, and we'll just try a little. Oh, look at that! Delicious. Thanks for watching, and wait for the second installment of something completely different.